Everyone, this is Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. Let's talk about Neil Gorsuch. So, Neil Gorsuch is the one that Trump put up for the Supreme Court. And there's been a question on whether or not Democrats was going to confirm it. So, this is Democracy Now! Neil Gorsuch, backed by $10 million in dark money, refuses to weigh in on Citizens United. During Tuesday's hearing, Supreme Court nominee Neil Gorsuch faced questions about his views on Supreme Court's Citizens United ruling and the $10 million in dark money campaign supporting his nomination. A recent New York Times investigation revealed Gorsuch has close ties to Colorado billionaire Philip Anschutz. When I saw this, my first question was more so, if it wasn't dark money, would it make it okay? So it's implicit in the title, Neil Gorsuch backed by $10 million in dark money. Okay, it sounds bad. If it was light money, would that make that sound any better? Ultimately, what we're talking about is that somebody is buying a particular politician, buying a particular candidate. Of course, it's an investment. They're putting that person in office. They're paying their bills. Do you think somebody is putting out $10 million for no reason? They're putting out $10 million because either he's going to give them a ruling, he's going to stifle some sort of regulation, he's going to do something that's going to pay back in spades the money that they're putting out to get this man in. My point is, we need to be aware, though, that whether the money is dark or light, it doesn't matter. These people shouldn't be getting bought off. Certainly that's a problem. I don't care which party you're in. Why on earth would you want your people making decisions, not based on things for the constituents themselves, not even based on any kind of ideological belief per se, but based on the position of the people who are paying the money or putting money towards their interests? I don't think seeing it matters. Yes, it's dark money, that's bad, but I'm making the point that even if you can see it, why is that much better? When Obama took office, Obama got millions from Wall Street. Did the millions that he got from Wall Street have anything to do with him not bringing any level of prosecution to the fraud that these people were committing? Fraud that tanked the economy, that took trillions of dollars out of the economy, let alone the calamity in regards to the people who were hurt by all that stuff. We could see it. Did it matter that we could see it? Those people still didn't go to prison for things that they did. Those people were still protected by this particular president. I'm making the point that, yes, we shouldn't have dark money. You shouldn't have any money in this political process. Making distinctions between whether it's dark or light doesn't matter. The fact that the money is in the process is corrupting the process. The Princeton study, the one that said America is an oligarchy, the reason why they came to that conclusion wasn't their feelings. It had to do with the data, the decisions that people wanted, or the things that people wanted, the things that the public supported, had little or nothing to do with what took place with regards to legislation. It was, for the most part, statistical noise. They were irrelevant. What did matter were the people who were paying those particular politicians, their donors, the people who were stuffing money in their pockets, the plutocrats, the robber barons. Those are the policies, those are the people these guys represent. So, yes, again, dark money is bad. But even in the process where we can see where that money is coming from, that study still took place and made the point that this country is an oligarchy. Seeing it is nice, but I'm seeing myself getting screwed. Why are we letting these guys buy our politicians? Even if you're conservative, even if you're a Republican, why are you okay with either party functioning from the principle of, I am parroting the perspective of the person who's putting money in my pocket? Why? Why? You don't have to be a lefty to want an honest process. This is not an honest process. It's not an honest process when the Democrats do it. It's not an honest process when the Republicans do it. We should have free and fair elections that does not have money to be the main driver. Do you know that 90-something, I think it's like 95, 96% of the races with the most income, or essentially the candidate that raises the most in state and local races, 96% of the times that person wins. Now, if you know that, the presidency is different just because it's such a massive thing, but if you know that, if you're aware of that, are you going to waste your time talking to your constituents, or are you going to spend your time talking to the people who's going to put money in your pocket? Because if 90-something% of the time, the person with the most money wins, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to go against the odds, or are you going to try to get the most money? You're going to try to get the most money. Over and over again, when you have conversations with the congressman, sometimes they express how surprised they were that 70% of their time is spent literally on the phones asking for money. That's not a Republican thing. That's not a Democrat thing. That's a both thing. The system was constructed based on this principle of capital. We want to limit access to people who don't have capital, which means that for the most part, this money is almost like a ticket. It's the thing that allows you to gain access to this particular world, these particular people. Unfortunately, because of that, the decisions that these guys make is not in the interest of the public, because to be honest, the public is not really in their interest. They care about the people who are supporting them. That's the truth of the matter. So, look, I get it. Dark money is bad. All of the money in the process is bad. If you're going to focus on anything, focus on all of it, not just quote-unquote dark money. They're buying our politicians. I mean, that's not hyperbole. That's not hyperbole at all. They're buying our politicians. That matters. If you want anything to change in this country, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, somewhere in between, you got to deal with that process. You got to deal with that process. You will never have an honest process where people are having ideological debates on what's the best thing for the country, while you have a corrupting influence of cash circulating through the process. So, that's my point. Alright guys, if you like the content, feel free. Thanks.